Hi, I'm Jessica. I thought I'd make a short video to show how I train my dogs to do weave pulls. And I do want to say I'm not a professional. I don't make any money for training. I'm just an amateur who takes lessons. So I'm just doing this for fun. So the first thing I want to show y'all is what I use when I first start, which are the homemade PVC weave poles. These are really easy to make. If anyone wants to know how, I'd be glad to send them an email and let them know. They're not really heavy enough to use once your dog knows what they're doing, but they're great at this stage. And the first thing I'm going to do is to show you this with a dog who doesn't know how to do it. This is Crowley. He's a 7-year-old Anatolian Shepherd. He has no agility training whatsoever and only very basic obedience training. So he should be a good guinea pig for us. So the method I use is called 2x2s. And we say that because these are set up in sets of 2 weave poles. The first thing I do is I set them like this, where they're just like going through jump standards, kind of. This part of the training method you can do even with very young puppies that are like 8-10 weeks old. I do this with all of my puppies. And all we're gonna do is teach the dog to just go straight down the middle. We don't want to lure the dog, and we don't want them looking at us. We want them to independently navigate this. So when we first start, I'm first just going to encourage him to go straight through the middle. Crowley, you want to do this? Come on, buddy. Let's go. Good boy. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Let's go. Good boy. And then I'm going to throw the treat because we want to encourage him to move through. Now do that on the other side so you can see a little better. Crowley, come on. Let's go. Good boy. Oops. Now you see there he made a mistake. That's not a big deal. We're just going to say oops or no, and we're going to try it again. Come on, Brady. Let's go. Let's try it again. Good boy. Yeah. Come on, buddy. There you go. All right. Ready? Let's go. Oops. No. Come on. We got to do this one. Let's go. Good boy. Good boy, Crowley. Come here. Let's go. Yes. Good. That's a good boy. One more time the other way. Let's go. Come on. Ready? Ready. Let's go. Oops. Nope. Come back again, buddy. Ready? Yeah. As you can see, Crowley is very low energy. This is a little easier with a higher drive, more energetic dog, but we'll see that in a minute. Ready? Good. Yeah, good boy. What a good dog. Oh, boy, yeah. Nago. Okay, so we're back for stage 2. This is Nago. He is a 12-month-old miniature American Shepherd or mini Aussie. He's been doing 2x2s since he was about 12 or 14 weeks old. But I don't start really tightening them up till they're closer to a year of age. So he's quite a bit further than Crowley, but he's not done yet. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start making these closer to being in a line. So at first, I'm not going to do much. I'm going to move them over just a little bit. And it's really important that we still have a straight path through here, even though they're at an angle. Nago! Now, it's really important that they're always going to enter with their left shoulder closest to the first pole. So, now go. Hey. Ready? Are you ready? Ready? All right, go. Oops. Let's try that again. Now go. Go. Yeah, good boy. Good boy. Did you find it? You can do it from this direction. Now go. You do it on this side. Go. Yeah, good boy. Now you don't always want to just turn around and come straight back through because that can also cause some issues later on, but I'm just doing that for the ease of making the video. Now go. Come. If you have a helper, you can just call them down the middle, and sometimes that's really helpful. Or if you have an automatic treat dispenser, you can also do it that way. Good boy. So once they're where they can do this, you're just going to progressively make these angles more difficult. And you're gonna make this path that they can walk. Just, yeah, good boy. He's doing it without me asking. Now go, here. Here. Go. Good boy. Get your treat. Now go. Hey, right here. Oh boy. So, you can take your time narrowing these up. He's, done quite a bit of this, so we can actually do a lot more. But this may take you several weeks at each stage to get them ready. So now they're much more at an angle. It's a much more narrow path. Good boy. You can tell he's been wanting to do this. You want to do this? Can you do this? Come on, Nuggle. Yeah, good boy. So over time, you just keep narrowing these things down. And you can tell we've been working on this because he's really wanting to do this. Nuggle. See, now this is a lot more narrow path. Go. Oops. Come back. If they start having a lot of mistakes, you need to go back and widen them back up a little more. Come on, Nuggle. Oops. Right again. No. Go. Oh, almost. Almost. Come on. Go. Oops. See, he's really struggling with this. So I'm going to make that just a little bit wider again for him. Now go. Go. Oh, you still didn't quite get it, buddy. Here, now go. Hey. Come around. Yeah, good boy. You got it. You got it. All right, guys. We're going to look at stage 3. This is Spyro. She is a 16-month-old miniature American Shepherd, and she is very close to being ready to compete at the novice level. Spyro! We can actually do 12 weave poles straight when she is paying attention. So she's a good one to show you what the stage kind of looks like right before you're ready to finish up learning this idea. Spyro! Good girl. Good girl. Go. Yes. Get it. Good girl. So this was obviously perfectly easy for her. So now we're really going to make this difficult. The poles themselves are not at an angle anymore. They're pretty close to straight, but they're offset from each other. Spyro. Go. Yeah, good girly. Good girl. Yeah. When they get to this stage, it's going to take a long time to get out of this stage and to move on. This is really, really hard for them. So then I'm just going to move them even closer than they were. They're just barely offset now. Spot. Here. Go wee. Yes. And one thing you might notice is she's starting to hit these and move them around. And that's what I mean when I say that when they start getting faster, you're going to want heavier poles than these. I do have a big competition set in my front yard. They're just really heavy to move around. So we're going to just use these for the sake of training. So you just keep narrowing those gaps until you can finally get them straight. And keep in mind, this takes like a year. If you start doing the 2x2s when they're little babies, they're going to be, 14, 15 months minimum, maybe 18 months or more before you get to this stage. Because you don't want to do any actual weaving while they're still little. I wait till they're probably not quite a year, but like maybe around that 9-month mark before I start really working on tightening these up. And I definitely don't put them straight until after they're over a year old. Spyro. Here. Go. Whoops. See, they still make mistakes even after they understand the idea. Go weave. they're better with you on one side versus the other. So it's really important to practice both ways. Go. Yes! Good girl. Good girl. And once you got this down with 6, you can move to 12, or you can start out trying to do more than this if you want to. I usually get pretty solid with 6, but I move from 6 to 12 really, really quickly. Spiral. Like, she probably had 6 straight down, and within 3 weeks we had 12 straight. Once they get this idea, it usually goes fairly quick. Spiral. Okay. Go Weaver. Yeah, go girly. Good girl. Spiral. Here. Come. And that is how I train for the weaves. And again, I'm an amateur, I'm not a professional, I'm not a serious competitor yet. So if I can do this as a fairly close to a beginner, I feel like it's a really good method that will work for a lot of people. And again, if anyone wants instructions on how to build these, they're really easy. It's just PVC pipe, maybe like 20 bucks worth of pipe, and a PVC coater that's about $10. And then the 3-way junctions at the bottom, sometimes those are hard to find at the store. You may have to order those, but they're not very expensive. You can get them on Amazon or at any of the agility shops. And this takes maybe an hour to make a set like this. And you can leave them outside, they're really hardy. So they're a really good beginner-friendly option. Thank you, everybody.